I have been missing since the end of NaNoWriMo. But I did make this dress, so I hope that hope that makes up for it. I was going to shade this dress in while I was waiting before stream, but the file corrupted, so this is what I've got to work with right now. Hopefully I'll fix it by tomorrow. Who knows? I had something I was going to tell you and I can't think of what it is right now. But I do have a body. Contrary to popular belief. As you can see by the legs and arms. This is what happens when you don't stream for like several days. Your brain just goes, can't remember how to do this anymore. I don't know how to talk. I remember what I was going to say. I want to say thank you for, we reached 60 followers at some point. I don't know when that was, but I also reached 30 subscribers on YouTube, which was a lot more than I expected, considering that how little I updated that this year. But considering how weird this year has been, that's was a lot. Because since like August, we've been trying to sell our house and stuff, so I've not been knowing like how much time is going to be left, so I can't plan things. But now I know a little bit better what's going on. I will have more things planned out, and there's some events and stuff that I want to do next year. And we're also going to have an end of year stream, like party thing, where I'm going to talk more about what I want to do next year. But that's not what I'm here for right now. We're here for Valiant Hearts, the Great Wall. Valiant Hearts is a game that I watched. It's one of those ones like I can't even remember my own favourite game right now. It's like, why is my brain melting right now? Let's ignore what I was going to say. It's like my favourite game, Hellblade, that's it. Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, where if you've played it in English or in Korean, I've probably watched it, you play it. So I know the plot completely. There's nothing shocking that will happen whilst I'm playing it, but I mean, other than my inability to remember things and play games, but other than that, we can have a good time. We can do some reading. Because there's a lot of reading you can do in this game about the historical parts of what the game is about. But yes, I wanted to show this dress off, even though it's not fully finished. When it is finished, it's going to go into, and after Christmas, it's going to go into the rotation, the wheel that you can spin to get a different outfit or different accessories. I might break it up so that the earrings and hat are separate from the dress. I'm not sure yet, but it's going to be part of the things that I'm going to do while I'm away. When we're moving house, I'm going to make more outfits and accessories and sort out the audio situation. Here's the game on. I look so weird right now. I'm still not used to this clothing or having a body. Usually I'm a torso, a disembodied torso. But yes, I've watched a lot of people play this game, but I've never played it myself. Off we go. We love an autosave. Freely inspired by the events unfolding on the Western Front between 1914 and 1918.
After the assassination of Prince Franz Ferdinand of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, the German Empire declares war on Russia. Because of established alliances, France is preparing for conflict. A few hours after the announcement of the general mobilization, German civilians living in France are asked to leave the country. Karl is one of them.
Several days later.
A few days after Karl was deported, the war was hungry for more and took away Emil as well. A heavy-hearted Emil was called up to fight and left the farm for Saint-Mihiel. Like so many others, he had no idea what fate had in store for him.
When we think about this time and like Emil here is quite on the older end of people they were calling up. I don't know how old the French forces mobilized people till, but I know over here you could get mobilized till you were like 46 in World War II. And if you had like no military training before that, it must have been incredibly hard. You've got great pants. You've got the best pants. Here's where you can learn about the actual war and the things that happened. I'm going to read them out because I might as well while we're here. War is declared. June 28th, 1914, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, was assassinated in Sarajevo. As a result of the chain of diplomatic and military alliances in place, the event launched Europe into an armed conflict that, with the involvement of colonies, took on a global dimension. On August 1st, Germany declared war on Russia. On August the 3rd, Germany declared war on France. On August the 4th, Britain declared war on Germany. On August the 11th and 12th, France and Britain declared war on Austria-Hungary. I nearly said Austria-Hungary. It's also really, I don't know, weird to think that everyone in the photos from this time is dead. Whether they died in the war or they lived after it, they're all gone now. The barracks and the regiment. Battalions comprised of a battalion headquarters and 4 companies, a total of 1,007 men in all. Companies were composed of 4 platoons, in turn divided into 4 sections, each of 12 men commanded by an NCO. Britain was slow to mobilise on the Western Front. Half its army was overseas, and with a genuine fear of invasion, infantry divisions were held in reserve in Britain and not included in the British Expeditionary Force. While conscription only came into force in 1916, voluntary enlistment was initially overwhelming, with 750,000 men eager to show their patriotism. That's the thing. A lot of people were, like, incredibly eager at the beginning of the war to fight. With the whole "it'll be over by Christmas" thing. It's so sad. Railways. With the outbreak of war, each country was eager to dispatch its army in situ as quickly as possible to gain the advantage. Railways were essential for mobilisation and supply. By August 1914, the British realised the importance of rail in the war effort and dispatched rail engineers to the front to build new lines. By 1917, 40,000 enlisted railway soldiers were working for the RE in France and Flanders. So there's no way they could have got people there quickly, because it's like one of the big points of war is how do you get enough people to where you need them in enough time. And with the least resources possible. The debacle of August 1914. In the early fighting, the German army made swift progress. After invading Belgium, they marched on Paris in late August. French troops retreated en masse, and units were outflanked and repelled, taken prisoner or killed. The months of August to September 1914 marked the bloodiest period of the war, with over 180,000 French casualties alone. The French authorities described the debacle as an organised retreat. The war to win over public opinion had begun. Here's items that we can collect and learn more about as we go on. You're probably going to miss a lot of them. The beginning of the war was very much experimental, in that people were trying to fight a modern war in the way that they'd fought Victorian ones. And, you know, people rode into war at this time on horses with swords against machine guns. And now we've got the blue and red. For a large part of the war, French soldiers wore blue and red, and it was extremely unhelpful. Because I'm going. Extremely unhelpful because obviously it's not camouflage, it makes you stand out like a sore thumb. But it's a holdover from older wars where you needed to be able to tell where your own side was so you didn't accidentally shoot them because guns are so bad. That's later on. And throw. Bang. Got a helmet. It's a German helmet with a pointy bit on it. I'm gonna forget how I use all these things. Oh, shift. What am I doing? Boom! Got a thumbs up. Look at all the bullet holes in the wall. And there ends the tutorial.
My dear Marie, we are on our way to Paris. The atmosphere here is strangely cheerful. I hope that the harvest goes well. Rely on our neighbors for help. They've always been gracious and charitable people. I'll write again as soon as I get my assignment. Please kiss my little grandson for me.
That's another thing people don't think about. How hard it would have been to get
At the train depot in Paris, trying to reach his regiment at platform 21, Emile would meet the man he would soon fight alongside. The man who would come to be his truest friend.
These assholes. Bully. The guy just munching on a briquette. Aha. It's mine now. Let me in.
Ah. Dis-moi, elle est pas baptisée.
I guess let me just bribe our way. Take some red wine in case we need it. Ah, there's something up there that we need. Boo. Not you. You. You? No. bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, there's something shiny over here. Let me saw something other than the roof over here. Gotta keep our eyes out for shiny things. I know there's something here. Apparently not. Aha! Get steamed. That's 100% not a thing. Do we have to hit it from down here? Oh, there we go. Hey. Is our friend? Best friend.
I'm Freddy. Well, listen.
Rustic.
Good luck, my friend.
August 21st, 1914. Emil's regiment was sent to fight against the 71st German Division led by Baron von Dorf. The general cheer of the first hours dissipated into the fear of first combat.
It's when it gets real. I'm just gonna go get a drink because I just realised I don't have one. I won't be long and I'll be back. I'll just go to... we'll go to be right back and I'll go get a drink and be right back. I'm back. I'm back. I just properly smacked my mouth with the glass that I was drinking out of, but I'm back. Welcome back, Emperor. How did your NaNoWriMo go? I did eventually finish it. It got right up to the wire though. I think at the end I had to write like 11k words in one day because I got so far behind. Now I have 50% of the book still to end. And that's probably not going to be happening until January, to be honest. We've just started Valiant Hearts The Great War, which is a game about World War One from the majority French and German perspective. Mostly French. We didn't look at the diaries, so maybe we'll look at the diaries. Here we have one for Carl. I'll look at the characters that we know already. August 12th, 1914. I started training at the military camp today. I can't help thinking of Carl, who's probably doing the same in Germany. The declaration of war has created havoc. I hope Marie and the neighbours manage to finish the harvest in time. Carl is our German son-in-law. Marie is our French daughter. And this is Emile, the character that we're playing at the moment. This is the guy we just met on the train station. August 12th, 1914. At last, I can't wait to get fighting. Maybe it'll ease some of the pain I feel inside. This is Freddy. He's an American guy. This is Carl. August 1st, 1914. It feels strange to return to Germany. At least Emil can take care of Marie and Victor. Emil can't because he's currently being deployed. Yes, much fighting, many fighting. Victor is like our baby son. Things should calm down in the months to come. It's also meaningless. It really was. August 12th, 1914. After Carl, it's Daddy's turn to leave. Why did they have to call him up? Wasn't it enough to expel my dear, sweet love from these lands? Why do they want to put Daddy in uniform? He's too old to fight, and now they've left me all alone with the harvest on the way and Victor to take care of. Hello, Ellie. How are you doing? Do you like my new Christmas outfit? It's not shaded yet. It's purely flat colour right now. I was trying to finish it before stream, but then the file corrupted. So here we are with flat colour dress and 10 pixels worth of leg. I don't know, maybe it's leg reveal. If this counts as a leg reveal. I have up until this point been a disembodied torso. I don't think any of the outfits where I have arms or legs have been pulled out of the wheel of outfits yet. But there is shockingly arms and legs in there. We haven't met this character, so we're not going to read it yet because that'll just spoil it for us. We read all the historical facts, but we found some items that we can learn about. German helmet. The legendary pointed German helmet, the Pickelhaube, was used by German forces until 1916 and was then replaced by much more efficient steel helmets. The different parts of the helmet, including the point for defense against saber attack, were adapted according to the rank, origin, and weapon used by the soldier. On some helmets, the point was rounded. The very I can't think of the word that I want to say. Oh God, words brain. You would never think English is my first language, would you? Iconic is the word that's popping into mind, but it's not what I was going to say. But it's very obviously a German helmet. And that made no sense either, so here we are. Station masters whistle. Steam trains made stations very noisy places. There were no loudspeakers and no display panels, so platform officials had to shout train information to passengers. Whistles were the best way to attract passengers' attention. VR. I never played a VR game. Well, the only VR game I've seen someone play is Beat Saber, and that looks like a really good workout. I was going to say, I have a train whistle. Because my dad used to work for the train, work in the railway. So he gave me one to put on my keyring. It's really loud. Which I suppose is the point. Letter from a French soldier. August 14, 1914. Dear parents, I am all set to be mobilised to the front. We're going to take Alsace and Lorraine back from the Germans. Don't worry, I'll be home before Christmas. All my love, Marcel. I highly doubt that, my friend. It's so sad that they all thought that it would be over quickly and it just went on for so long and so many people died for pretty much no reason. Metal nib. In 1914, biros did not yet exist, and at school, children learned to write with metal nibs, or more often, and especially in the countryside, with whittled goose feathers. The sheer volume of war correspondence saw metal nibs become more widespread. So, a dip pen or just a fountain pen in general. Back to the game where it's going to get scary. I'm carrying a big flag. I don't know whether carrying the flag is a good thing. Because it looks incredibly heavy. Charging it. Currents is not my idea of a good time. So scary. Blew his shoes off. Oh no, run. What? Don't run. Run. I'm also noticing that we're slowly becoming the only person, and that's incredibly dangerous. No. Oh no, it's our son-in-law.
Miss Marie Chillon, Private Emile Chillon, from the 150th Infantry Regiment, was wounded by enemy fire on August 21st. He has been captured by the enemy. Hopefully, you shall receive news from him soon. Freddie, originally from America, enlisted voluntarily in the French forces at the start of the war. Behind his bravery hid a man already devastated by the war's effects. A man with one sole obsession: punish those who had destroyed his life. It was at the Battle of the Marne that Freddie finally picked up the trail of the regiment commanded by Baron von Hof.
Freddie looks so much like Mr. T at the moment. If you want a collectible. Blow up the bridge. I'm even more scared for this guy because F. But remember, punch things is F. I'll read his diary. Ooh, there's a thing down here too. Coin. He doesn't love a coin. I imagine we want it to go about there. Hey. Boom. I like how the wooden cart is completely safe. Everything else is destroyed. This feels very dangerous right now. Yep. Oops. Guess we throw it. Yeah. Nope. Nope. That's where you learn that I'm terrible at throwing things. Apart from the shot bot. Nope. Nope. I'm guessing we have to go closer and we're gonna get shot by accident and get up. Right, we have to go when he's reloading, which I don't trust yet. So you're gonna wait. We probably could have gone, but now go. Run, run, run as fast as you can. Can't catch me, I'm gingerbread. Oops. Oops. Oh god, we're gonna have to go back to the beginning. Oops. I really am bad at throwing. I'm so bad at throwing. Once upon a time. No. Oh my god, I keep forgetting to press space. That's not what I wanted. I guess we're just gonna have to kill him now. What am I doing? Oh my god. Go down, go down. Run, 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 run. Go down again. Oh. That was terrifying. Oh, let's pick up a star. Right here. Oh, here we are. Explode! Explode. This would have 100% killed us. Yay, we partially built a bridge. Let's read what this is. The Battle of the Marne. Drawn up long before the war, the von Schlieffen plan aimed at swiftly overrunning France via Belgium and northern France. Overrunning France by France. After the August debacle on September 6th, French troops turned to face German troops in the decisive Battle of the Marne and prevented the capture of Paris. Or Paris. The battle was the first time Franco-British forces managed to halt the German advance and thwart the main German battle plan. The front retreated northwards and stabilised in December when trench warfare began in earnest. Americans in the French army. In 128 Americans enrolled in the French army from the start of the conflict, mostly in Paris, including the poet Alan Seeger. The majority joined the Foreign Legion and took part in the Battle of the Marne. Others joined the Air Force, which later became the Lafayette Squadron. 24 gave their lives for France, including Alan Seeger. The media attention they received in the United States played a decisive role in their own country's decision to join the war 3 years later. Machine guns. The Great War demonstrated the technical progress of the age, symbolised by the machine gun. World War I devices could now shoot up to 200 bullets before requiring cooling, and were perfectly integrated into infantry attacks. German machine guns deployment in the front line gave them a vast superiority at the start of the conflict. Also, they used to run out of water to cool them, and then they would pee and put that in as a coolant. And Russian guns had they were just made to be peed into. So capture the flag. Flags were powerful symbols for each unit, and once captured became trophies. When overrun, soldiers took the time to hide or bury them before being taken prisoner. With the arrival of trench warfare, flags disappeared from the battlefield and only made an appearance at military ceremonies away from the front. And here's our items that we have so far. French identification tag. Created in 1881 in the wake of the French defeat against the Prussians in 1870-1871, the French identification tag indicated a soldier's name and surname, the date of his conscription, his place of birth, and ID number. Dog tags were used to identify corpses on the battlefield in an attempt to overcome the problem of soldiers missing in action and unidentified bodies. Gold button from a French uniform. The French Army's horizon blue greatcoat had gold buttons. The buttons, not to mention their distinctive red trousers, proved problematic on the battlefield as they shone in the sun, making the soldiers easy to spot by the enemy. HQ map. Soldiers did not have sat-nav to pick their way through the countryside. The only tools they had were a compass and a HQ map. Orienteering duties were the reserve of officers and non-commissioned officers. Orienteering was the part of sports that I hated the most, personally. You used to have to use a map to find out a way around the school field and local area, and it was a nightmare. More things to throw. Throw this just for fun, even though I won't do anything. Just extra things to blow. These are another type of hand grenade that came with a handle. I like how it didn't blow up. The one we brought with us. A whistle? Oh, it's a cartridge. Oh, that was another whistle. German cartridge. German cartridges. German 7.92mm Mauser cartridges. The diameter of German machine gun ammunition was standard whether used in light machine Gewehr, MG, or heavy schwere Maschinengewehr. I did take German, I have forgotten all of it. The same diameter was used for the standard German Army issue K 98K rifle. Only the C96 pistol used by officers was of a smaller caliber. 7.63mm. Makes sense that you would want as much of your stuff to match as possible, and it means you only have to make, it would just be easier to make, and you can use it in anything that you have. Another machine gun. Oh. Oops. You know me. Okay, no. You know me, just, you know, casually. Just me casually running machine gun fire. Where are we throwing this? Oh, up there. Up here. Boom. Oh, we didn't have that. Oops. At least he noticed. Another machine gun. I like how he's I like how he's drinking with a tiny little glass. Pressing the wrong button and now we're probably gonna get shot. Oh no. Punch. Oh, there's wine. But we could throw an explosive. Why wouldn't we throw that? Didn't see anything. You didn't see anything. Yes, this is Zeppelin. Nope. Can we throw it from this side though? Apparently we can. Can we knock him out once? Oh, we can hit him in the head though. Oop, nope. Oh, we can't throw him around there. Pardon me? Was I pressing the wrong button? Nope. Mr. Pigeon, I don't need your help. Oh, shit. So close. another thing. We'll look at what that is. Embroidery. Household linen was yes. Household linen was precious and it was often customized with embroidered initials. Contrary to received ideas, embroidery was not exclusively a female pursuit, and many prisoners of war embroidered during captivity. Gotta have something to do while you're being held. Vegetables. Vegetables. Punch. Can we hit it from here? Probably not. Ooh. Punch. Oh. A letter from a German soldier, September 6, 1914. My dear parents, I'm doing fine and the weather is good. I hope everyone is well in Bad Dürkheim? Maybe Dorkheim? Our progress is swift. We shall soon be in Paris. What do you want me to bring back as a souvenir? Yours, Gunther. Let's go punch someone else over here. Space. Ah. Ah. Ooh.
Thanks to support from British
I don't know what
forces,
happened
the
there.
German plan failed. The front line moved back to the north, and with the arrival of winter, froze. Soldiers holed up amid a vast labyrinth of trenches and tunnels that would become the indelible image of the Great War. Karl's regiment retreated to the outskirts of Neuve-Chapelle, the same camp where Emile was being held prisoner.
You got that big spoon. I live in prisoner of war life right now. What does he want us to do? I mean, it's tiny glass. He wants us to make him sausages. I guess. Suppose, I guess. Oh, dog. I shall get you Vasa. Good dog. Let's go in here where it's quieter. To read the historical information. 6 million prisoners of war. Between 1914 and 1918, over 6 million men were taken prisoner, including 1.2 million German and 200,000 British troops. Despite the 1907 Hague Convention and the efforts of the International Red Cross, prison conditions and forced labour proved harsh for conscripts, and hundreds of thousands never made it home. Letters remained the only real means of communication with the outside world. Radios and telephones were only used for military ends. All soldiers wrote to their loved ones back home. As war correspondence was free of charge, this created logistical and financial problems. 10 billion letters and postcards were sent to and from the front during the war. The early war postal system was chaotic, but then the front was then separated into sectors, each with its own postcode. The visit from the military postmaster was eagerly awaited. Imagine all the posts that got lost. Because it's got to be somewhere. Once upon a time, just a lot of letters that never made it. The Battle of Neuve-Chapelle. March 10th, 1915. British shells literally rained down on German forces. For the first time, the technique creeping barrage was used. A barrage where the fire of all units targets the same position for a period before advancing one line at a time. The infantry's advance was synchronized at a safe distance behind this barrage so that the German lines could then be overrun. That day, 530 cannons fired over 216,000 shells. That is to say, one shell per weapon every 2 minutes. That's the other thing. The places where the war happened in France are just filled with ammunition. Either spent ammunition that exploded, or just like live ammunition that's just been laying there for over 100 years now. And when people plough the fields, they still find stuff. They're still finding bodies as well. I think last year, maybe the year before, they found remains from World War One. That's really sad just thinking about whoever that person was, just laying there for over 100 years at this point, waiting to be found. And I think they ended up doing DNA analysis of it to try and find family. The Garwal rifles. In the early 20th century, Great Britain and France governed huge colonial empires and put them to use during the war. Indian troops were deployed by Britain in the Middle East as well as on the European front and made an important contribution to the war effort. Many victories were achieved thanks to their bravery and discipline in combat. A monument commemorating their sacrifice stands in Neuve-Chapelle, France. That's another thing to think about. All the people who came from warmer climates and had never seen snow, and then you're stuck in a World War I trench in the mud. Trench life was difficult. Soldiers were confronted with cold, rain, and mud. Dirty water meant that diseases such as dysentery, typhus, and cholera flourished. The depth of the mud also presented dangers, and soldiers sometimes drowned in shell holes or in the tunnels leading to the trenches. If you have seen The Lord of the Rings Return of the King, I think, there's a scene where they reach the dead marshes where there's the bodies of people who died in a previous war laying below the surface of the water, and it's very reminiscent of this, which is obvious because, you know, Tolkien fought in World War One, and that scene always makes me think of that he'd been in World War One and seeing the horrors that it brought and how he lost so many of his friends during World War One. Explosives. Trench fortifications required the use of explosives to penetrate enemy lines. Long tunnels were dug under no man's land beneath enemy trenches, inside which explosives were placed. The English used cordite, a powerful explosive that could be detonated at a distance. Cordite is very dangerous. Oh, here's a recipe to make sausages. Water, fire, sausage. Probably need this. Oh, it's our daughter's picture. Photo frame. Even though photography was not widespread, many soldiers had their photos taken before setting out for the war. Professional prints were developed on photo paper and applied to a hard backing to prevent tearing. Some photos were directly printed as postcards, especially group conscript photos. Ooh. What am I doing? Oh. It's Carl.
Marie, est-ce que ça va?
Dearest Papa, we live in a climate of uncertainty. Germans use the people of Saint-Miel as human shields against the French bombings. I hope the Germans treat you well, and that your wound has healed. Your grandson sent you kisses. I sent you a picture of him. All my love. Please write soon.
Adieu, Karl.
I'm making you sausage. Hey, Star. Thank you for the sub. We're making sausage right now. We're making sausage as a prisoner of war right now. What's that? We lost that way. We have water. We have fire. We have sausage. It kind of looks horrifying though right now. I don't know. I would call it cuisine, but it's definitely sausage. I'm getting out of here. Okay. I was not staying around for that. Doggo! Let me find where my left alt is. Here we are. Left alt. Dog. Oh no. It's hotkeyed to the same hotkey. I have my emotions hotkeyed too. It was just so good. They exploded. Now we have a good dog. We have a best doggo. This and strongest spoon the world has ever seen. Oh no. Pull him out. He's in the Zeppelin. We're gonna go save Carl. Like how there's just so much wine around.
Hey, what?
It's in the bush. Star, you can witness my terrible throwing skills.
What? Hey.
Handle was convenient. How did I give it back? C'est bien, c'est bien. I am very fancy today. It's my new Christmas clothes, but they're not fully done yet. Could have saved them for like a better reveal, but you know, why do that when you can not do that? You know? Hey, teamwork. I love this dog already, and we've known him for like maybe 5 minutes. I missed it earlier when I was really, really messing up. Oh, so if you run fast enough, it'll, aha. Hey. Look at the scale. Also, look how terrifyingly huge that gun is. Look how big the... Look how big this is that goes in it. That's terrifying. Anything here? Oops, not what I'm looking for. Was it what I'm looking for? Have we looked at everything? Oh, we looked at that, yeah. Sorry.
What? What?
Dog. Oh no, this is the part we have to dig and I don't want to do
Yes,
it.
you right.
We can just pet him?
We both know.
I hope everything goes well for you too, Star. Hopefully... Hopefully I'm still alive. Because this is the terrifying part now. The digging up. Oop, that's not what I was after. Let me just have it again. Just dog pet simulator. Yeah. Like, this is terrifying. There are parts where you can dig and get blown up. Fancy thing. Nope. So, I guess not. What happened there? Ah, there we go. Ah. Another collectible. Valiant Stories, contest memorabilia. Bliss tightener made by Corporal Lucien Dufourmentel, great-grandfather of Benoit Tiedre, from a melted down cartridge case. Lucien served as an electrician in a searchlight division whose mission was to illuminate enemy positions. Many thanks and congratulations to our winner, Benoit. Ah yes, that is how you awaken. The Balrog. I get that, but I got nothing to throw.
What? Ah, what?
Ooh. I hope that's not human. I mean, it is human, isn't it? But we can hope. We can hope and dream. We can hope and dream. And wish. This is why we be careful. Crucifix. The majority of soldiers believed in God, and some wore symbols of their religion. War officers had to make provisions for different religions, and a variety of religious ceremonies were performed at the front by different faiths. Priests, vicars, and rabbis offered succor and compassion to soldiers. Muslim soldiers from colonies were organised into separate battalions for practical reasons, and their beliefs were also respected. Halal food was provided as well as Muslim funeral services. That's nice, at least. People got... Give me the one.
Merci, what?
Good dog. You know, the people respected each other's religions. I guess we throw this. Are you just digging for the sake of digging? That's nice. Not this one. You're gonna get blown out. You don't want a blown up dog. Do you? And now we have the terrifying scary. Ah! I'm so scared. I'm so scared. That was terrifying. I thought 100% we were going to get blown up there. There's a collectible up there and I can't get it as well. Oh no, I remember this part. Don't go for the sausages. They're
What?
probably
Okay.
bad. They're probably fake sausage. No!
What?
No! Minutes earlier, on the other side of the film.
The British troops continued their attack on Neuve-Chapelle. Their next objective, take back Port Arthur.
Poor dog.
Sir. Yes, sir. Come on, boy, let's go.
Come on, let's go. Run. Run. No. No. Oops. I meant to run. 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 Run again. And punch. I'm blowing something up again. Two, 3, 2. See if we can throw it properly. Hey! 3. That's 4. That's 2. That's 1. Oh, 3's up. Hey! I don't know why I came back up that when I could have just left it. Hey! This part of the stage is cool. And blow it up. Bang! Yeah. It was not nice. There's many terrible things happened. Ooh, is that a shiny? Is that a shiny? No, it's just dynamite. It's very terrible and we've not even got to some of the worst part yet. Knife! Let's start with this one. French coins. All troops were paid in the country of origin's currency and paid compensation in the local currency. The British earned 1 shilling a day, around £3.21 slash $5.42 in nowadays currency. The standard King shilling and 20 francs every fortnight. These 20 francs had a face value of £40, roughly €50 or $70, and were used as the main currency, with the locals eager to barter whatever few goods they could trade. Business always prevailed, so locals near the combat zone would agree on payment in foreign currency as well. The kukri knife. The kukri knife was used by the Gurkhas, the British unit comprised of colonial Indian troops. This Nepalese weapon was standard issue and became a symbol of the Empire forces. Its heavy, thick and curved blade was designed for striking as well as cutting. Nearly said cooking. I mean, you could probably cook with it, but I assume it's not ideal. No, doggo! Oh, gotta save the doggo, gotta save the doggo. Gotta go save the doggo, get up there. Save the doggo. Yes. Yes. I will cut the wire. Get this one out. This dog is so cool. It has its own little vest and everything. Oh, I need to cut the
Merci, mon ami.
manacles.
Du Ragnar. Carl Louis Fonder.
got together.
Amidst the never-ending attacks and counterattacks, Freddy and Emile hunted the elusive Baron and his regiment in Ypres.
Eep. Oh no. Here's one of the worst parts of World War One.
On April 22nd, 1915, chlorine gas was used for the first time by the Germans.
Chlorine gas. First gas attack. I mean, we'll probably get out of the coughing. We'll get out of the coughing first, I think. Doug is... Switch off. Oh. Right, now we can read it. The Battle of Ypres. Ypres was a key strategic town in Belgium, specifically, or especially for the British. It was the gateway to the north and thus to Britain. Canadian troops were deployed in the front line and they proved their endurance and dependability in combat to the Allies. 6,000 Canadian lives were lost in the battle in April 1915. First gas attack. April 22nd, 1915, at Ypres came the first gas attack in history. 5,730 cylinders of chlorine were opened by the Germans in favourable winds. Chlorine gas caused burns to the eyes, skin and lungs, even through clothes and rubber boots. The effects were devastating. The only defence found by the Canadians was to cover their noses with a urine-soaked handkerchief. Because the chlorine gas reacts with the ammonia in the urine to turn it into a slightly less dangerous substance. I can't remember. Like it turns it into hydrochloric acid plus water and something else. But my chemistry was a long time ago. Don't count me on that. Zeppelin bombardment. Zeppelins were invented in 1900 by the German Count von Zeppelin, but the first long-distance flight didn't take place until 1908. Zeppelins went much slower than the aircraft of the period and were first used in reconnaissance. They could also fly at higher altitudes, so from 1915 they were also used to bomb civilians in London and Paris. Yeah, don't rely on my chemistry to keep you safe. Imagine being Count von Zeppelin and inventing Zeppelin. They're also incredibly flammable. I can't remember when they changed the hydrogen for helium, because they were originally hydrogen, which is flammable, and helium is almost inert, which is why we had the Hindenburg disaster where one set on fire. The dogs of war, the good boys and good girls of war. It's estimated that in 1918 the Germans had employed 30,000 dogs while the Allies employed 20,000. Dogs were recruited from dog pounds and the police force, while many families also enlisted their pets. Imagine. Imagine enlisting your dog into the army. Dogs had a number of roles as sentries and scouts in postal liaison. Sorry. And equipment transport in locating casualties and explosives, and as mascots. The main breeds deployed were German Shepherds, Doberman, Pinschers, and Bouviers. We don't have any of these yet. Good dog. Good dog. Good dog. Good dog. I'll never not good dog, the good dog. More digging. Not that one. Ooh. Why are these buttons so close together? Hey. We found a Canadian dog tag. I think we go down now. Huh? Do we make the dog come down?
What?
Oh, we do.
Vas-y. Hey, what?
Puzzles are not my forte. But we do what we can.
Allez.
I think, do we go now? And then we get the dog to do it.
What? Hey, what? Ah.
Ah. This doesn't look dangerous at all. This doesn't look dangerous or ominous at all. Let's look at our items while we're in here. Urine soaked cloth. The only defense against a gas attack before masks were introduced was to cover the nose with a urine soaked handkerchief. Urine reacts with chlorine directly in the handkerchief to form less noxious products, limiting the effects. It was not the most hygienic solution, but it was always better than a lung full of hydrochloric acid. Here we are. This explains it slightly better than what I was doing earlier. Canadian identification tag. At the start of the war, Canadian identification tags were formed by a large aluminium disc, which was because they were an emergency issue and had a unique shape. They were soon replaced by standard British tags, as were those of all British Empire forces. So I guess they're pretty rare to find. Push, push. I think we have to stack it with you. Double.
What? Allez, vas-y.
See what it changes my face. Let me push this. Didn't change my face. We love that. You might be asking why. It's because my facial expressions are hotkeys to numbers. Why are we pushing it far? There we go. Fixed. Is there anything else we need to fix? No, there's just the dog. 1 in 10 this probably. There's a dog. Nope, that's not. What was it aiming for? Imagine pressing the wrong key. Anyway. Alt is what I wanted.
Let's see.
And then we rotate this one again. There we go. Hey. That was bad. What do we be doing with this one then?
What? Hey, what?
Boom. We'd 100% be dead.
Come on, man. Emil.
Emil, let's go. Hopefully our dog goes at the top too.
Come on.
Best friends. I don't know why, but that bit looks like a trombone to me for a second. The Zeppelin. Oh no, this is the part that relies on me being able to dig. Pretty sure it relies on me to be able to do something.
Emil, hurry up. What? Hey, that's
There's a dog up there.
what?
Dog.
Hey,
Two.
help me, Emil. Let's see.
I'm trying, my friend.
What? What?
Oh, two. No.
Hey,
One.
Hey,
Oh.
what?
Two. Then we push it. Then we climb. And we stick the ball in there. And then we pull it.
Thank you, my friend. You in?
You need to do the barbed wire. Oh, we need to be able to dig. did it. Hey.
Her name was Anna, a Belgian student living in Paris. She was hard on the trail of her missing father. For once, fate smiled on them. They were all going in the same direction. But while approaching Vimy, a German squadron spotted them.
Hey, Kristen. Oh, this is where it all goes wrong. It's terrifying. Landmine. Don't get blown up by the landmine. Don't get blown up by the landmines. Stop drawing bombs on me. This is terrifying. No. Ah! Oh. Oh, we survived. We survived. Oh no. What's your No.
Ça va aller, allez. Emile, allez!
I think actually this is a good place to stop for today. So, gonna check. We read all the historical facts. Oh no, we haven't. New historical facts. We'll read them, and then we'll have a little talk at the end. The trenches. Between the sides there was an imbalance in trench conditions. After securing a head start in trench construction, the Germans reinforced them with iron and concrete, while the Allies had to wallow in mud. The Allies' changeover policy maybe contributed to this. Allied soldiers had a 7-day shift at the front, where German soldiers were allocated a specific zone for an indeterminate period, giving them a chance to settle in. The Labyrinth. Vimy and Neuville-Saint-Vaast were two positions the Germans were quick to fortify. Here they built the Labyrinth, a complex network of trenches and tunnels connected to underground sleeping quarters. Allied armies unsuccessfully attempted to seize this key position on numerous occasions. Due to the huge number of casualties in late 1915, and you said 2015. Definitely not 2015. The position was declared impregnable. Memorial to the Moroccan Division. The Moroccan Division, whose motto was No Fear, No Mercy, combined soldiers from across French colonial Africa and the Foreign Legion. The division included Moroccan Zouaves, hopefully that's right, and Tunisian and Algerian infantrymen. In 1915, the division seized Vimy Ridge, but in the absence of backup from Battalion HQ, they were forced to retreat after 2 days. The Moroccan Division is the only division whose flags were decorated with the Legion d'Honneur, or the Legion of Honor. Naval cannons. Naval cannons were capable of firing heavy-duty 800-pound shells. Due to their weight, they were mounted on special rails for transport to firing platforms. In the event of a retreat, artillerymen were instructed to destroy the cannons rather than let them fall into enemy hands. Which is somewhat understandable. These are the things we need to find. We haven't read the diaries, but we can do that now too. Here we go. August 20th, 1914. We spent yet another day walking. We heard cannon fire for the first time today. I don't want to have to kill. I must stop thinking about it and get some sleep. March 10th, 1915. What a day. My life was saved twice today, first by an American soldier and then by a dog. But I am free at last. I saw Carl before the bombing. I hope he made it out alive. I'm going to try and find him. And then we have Freddie. September 7th, 1914. I missed them by a whisker. It won't happen again. My younger brother's letter was sweet. It gave me a real boost. It's good he's back in the States, miles away from this nightmare. That kid has a knack of getting himself into trouble. March 10th, 1915. On the march to Belgium, where this damned regiment was stationed. I'm not alone, at least. I met a funny old French farmer guy, Emile. He doesn't say much, but if I understood right, his son-in-law's German. How crazy is that? Not a day goes by that I don't dream of you. This is the person that just saved us. The bells all over Paris. August 1st, 1914. The bells all over Paris started chiming at 4 p.m. this afternoon. It was eerie. Somebody in the street told me it was for the troop mobilization in case Germany declares war. I'll write to father to find out what's going on in Belgium. And here's Carl. August 21st, 1914. Emile, right there, right in front of me, sprawling on the ground. Why did his regiment have to come up against mine? I hope he pulls through. He's one tough cookie. I must find out what POW camp he's been taken to. March 10th, 1915. At last I found Emile, just moments before the shells started flying. I hope he's managed to dodge the bombs. The letter he showed me filled my heart with joy. Marie as well, and Victor is growing up. That's all that matters. And then it's Marie. August 24th, 1914. That letter gave me such a fright. Poor Daddy. He's been wounded and taken prisoner by the Germans. I don't know if he's seriously injured, and if he's been well taken care of. I've been told prisoners are allowed to receive letters. I shall write him tomorrow. September 25th, 1914. Today the Germans invaded Saint-Mihiel. Fortunately, the troops spared the farm. I took shelter in the cellar with Victor. Now what's going to happen? There we go. Right. I will take us back to chatting. Here we go. Back to chatting. Oh. It's been really nice to see you all again and to play this game that I was meaning to play in November. But stuff happened and it didn't happen. So here we are. It would have been more thematic to play in November because that's when Memorial Day. Armistice Day is, or Poppy Day. We're playing it near Christmas. I shall see you tomorrow to play some more of it. And hopefully the dress will be fixed by then. And you can see how it's actually supposed to look like. Wouldn't that be great? Have a good night, day, afternoon. Don't run with scissors anywhere that you're not supposed to. Wash those hands because it's flu season. And just generally be safe and be nice to each other. I'll see you, as I said, on Wednesday. I'm pretty sure tomorrow's Wednesday, right? Got to be Wednesday. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.